Welcome back to NBA Today. We just got breaking news about, 16 minutes ago. ESPN sources say that JJ Redick has agreed on a 4-year contract to become the next coach of the Los Angeles Lakers. Rob Pelinka offered the job this morning, and Redick started working on a staff to surround himself with experience. And the guy who tweeted that about 16 minutes ago, it was NBA insider Adrian Wojnarowski. Woj, how did all of this come about?
Well, Rob Pelinka, the Lakers, they reached out to JJ Redick, his representatives, early this morning, Eastern time, and made JJ Redick an offer to become the Lakers' next head coach. Spent several hours negotiating on that offer, and then I'm told now a 4-year contract for JJ Redick to become the next coach of the Lakers. He met with Rob Pelinka, Jeannie Buss, last weekend in L.A., spent Saturday with them, continued to talk into this week. And JJ Redick reemerged in this process after Connecticut's Dan Hurley had turned down the Lakers early last week. And now, he starts to work on a coaching staff. He's had a lot of thoughts about potential candidates he might like to bring in around him, certainly with an emphasis on experience. And I think certainly the defensive side of the ball, having somebody there, who brings a lot of credentials on that end. But I think for the Lakers, JJ Redick was certainly a candidate they identified very early as a candidate. They kind of cooled on him as they went through that pursuit of Hurley. But once Hurley had moved on, he was front and center along with James Borrego, who's a very serious candidate in Cleveland now. And now Redick. Listen, the Lakers know what they're up against. JJ Redick knows what he's up against. He has not coached really on any level other than his son's teams. But there certainly are examples of coaches who've come into the league, had success in modern times and, previous eras. There's certainly a lot of examples for Redick to learn from. But I think initially surrounding him with assistants that he trusts, that understand what he's up against. And I think there's a learning curve here. Everybody knows that. But the Lakers see a tremendous upside with Redick, his ability to connect with players, his high basketball IQ. And certainly there are going to be elements of the job, many of them, that he's going to have to learn quickly. And certainly part of that's going to be trial and error.
Okay, so you mentioned Dan Hurley turning down the contract offer. It was 6 years, right? JJ has now agreed to a 4-year contract. Tell us a little bit more about the terms, why they are agreeing on a 4-year contract in this one.
Yeah, I think 4 years for someone who hasn't been a head coach yet, or certainly even an assistant coach in the league, that's, about on course of what you would see. It's a negotiation. And so certainly, if you're the Lakers, you make a longer deal, make a longer offer potentially to a Dan Hurley, who also, is entrenched in a significant coaching job and someone you're trying to lure out of that. JJ Redick is somebody who's very much wanted to get into coaching. Obviously, he works here with us at ESPN, but, becoming a head coach in the league has been a goal of his. There's been interest in different forms in him throughout the league, both as a head coach and in the front office. But 4 years for a first-time head coach in the NBA, that's about the norm you're going to see. The 5-year deals typically are more for somebody on their second job, somebody who's won at a high level, and it's much rarer you see, the 6 years or even beyond that, like Eric Spoelstra got. But Eric Spoelstra's won multiple championships, one of the great coaches of all time. You're going to rate out differently in these kind of negotiations when you haven't been a head coach yet. But 4 years is about right for this situation, I would think.
Okay, that makes sense. Still a lot to prove there for JJ Redick. We'll see what happens. Thank you, Woj.